And all praises to, excuse me, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakakodash. And I'm going to entitle this video, I asked ChatGPT, is the mark of the beast the microchip? What I did before I asked this question to the chat, I simply put in Revelation 13 verse 16, and it really didn't give me anything. It just kind of broke it down, that verse, in different words. No difference than you going into like the NLT or the KJV or the BBE or the AMP, which is the amplified version, or any of the many versions out there. So anyway, the question that I asked is to the chat is the mark of the beast the microchip? And that's what I wanted to hear when I put in the scripture alone, but it didn't come up. So anyway, this is what came back, and I was kind of surprised. It said the idea that the mark of the beast is the microchips is a modern interpretation, but it's not supported by the original biblical text in a literal sense. Well, the word mark, charagma, is a literal thing, not a spiritual thing. It says, I'm going to make this short. Biblical context. The mark of the beast comes from Revelation 13, 16 to 18. In the New Testament, it says, it causes all, both small and great, both rich and poor, both free and slave, to be marked. The word there is charagma, which is a physical thing, on the right hand or on the forehead. Now, the right hand means your power hand. If you're left-handed, that's your right hand, because the word is dextrose. Dextrose does mean right, but it means your power hand. Like you have ambidextrous, that means you can, in boxing you can switch stance. You can have orthodox stance where your left hand is front, which would make it your jab hand, excuse me, and then you have your power hand, which is the cross, which is your right hand. If you were a southpaw, your left hand would be out in front as a jab hand, and your right hand would be out in front as a jab hand, and your left hand would be your power hand. So it doesn't mean the right side of your body. It's talking about your power hand. Normally, it is the right hand. Most people are right-handed. I'm right-handed. Most people that I know are right-handed. In Europe, they're going to get it on the left hand. Maybe that has to do with something about your car. The driver's steering wheel of the car is on the opposite side. Where in America, we are the driver's side is on the left, and in Europe, like England and so forth, Japan, I believe everywhere else. I got to do a little research on it. Somebody can do some research for me, help me out. If not, I'll look for it at another time, in my leisure. But like you go to Japan, or let's say England, the UK, the driver's seat is on the right hand side. In Hebrew, you read and write from right to left. In the US, you read and write from left to right. So it says the number associated with the beast is 666. This kind of surprised me coming up when I get to interpretations. This has been interpreted symbolically by most scholars. The number associated with the beast is 666. This has been interpreted symbolically by most scholars. So scholars that may say, well, we don't say it's the microchip, but some of them do. Some of them question. Some of them add that in their, if they're doing a report, an essay, writing a book, interpretations. It said historical. Many scholars believe the beast represented the Roman Empire. I didn't know they were going to say that. If they're truly deep, they would know that this is the Roman Empire all over again. That the Caesars are here, the emperors are here. And 666 was a code for Emperor Nero. Who's the king? Who's the king in America? What have we been saying here at GMS? Starting with myself, I started this thing. And all of you say that, you know. I remember this was maybe, I don't know, when Nero was in office, and I was watching a video that the elder Malcolm out of Chicago, the head of Chicago, he mentioned Nero being Trump, and he said he might be Trump. And then I put a comment in there. I said, no, that's Trump. That's Trump, brother. That's Trump. This was some years ago. I don't know if you remember that. But now you can clearly see that this is Nero. That's if this ain't Nero, I don't know who Nero is. So it says historical interpretation historical. Many scholars believe the beast represents the Roman Empire. This is the new Roman Empire, Revelation 13. And 666 was a code for Emperor Nero. I might have to go more into that. Using Hebrew numerology, Grammatia. There's a Grammatia calculator that I used to go to. And you know what I'm going to do? Let me do this. Let me see. Bear with me for a minute, y'all. Matter of fact, give me a second. Okay. Let me do this here. All right, let me do this. Do a little experiment right here. As soon as this thing come up. Do this here. Go to Google. Bear with me for a minute, y'all. Oh, they got a day coming Saturday, the 14th. Will be protests around the whole country. And it's called No King's Day. Because they associate Donald Trump, he's sitting like a king. He's barking orders like a king. Pre-Magna Carta. If you look up the word Magna Carta, which came about in the 1200s, somebody can give me the exact date and give me a little information on it. In a nutshell, the Magna Carta, which is the Great Charter, it said in the charter that kings have to be under law, because prior to that, the Magna Carta, kings could do whatever the hell they want. They would say, well, I'm the king. You can't do nothing against me. I'm the king. And that's why you had a lot of revolutions, because you had these cruel lords. Cruel lord. If Trump is not a cruel lord, that's definitely Nero. In my humble spiritual opinion. Okay, let me see. Give me a second here. Gematria calculator. Let me try to calculate it, and I'll go to Gematria or Gematria calendar or calculator, Hebrew. Let's see what happens. Okay, let me do this. Okay, insert phrase. Let me do this. Bear with me for a minute. Let's see what happens. I use a different a Grammatia calculator. Okay, I'll put in Emperor Nero, then I'm gonna put in just Nero. Let's see what comes up. This experiment. Type in a word or a number. God, devil, 666, the calculator, gematria, values. Didn't give me 666. Let me just try Nero. I don't want no Pumas. You trying to make me buy something? Okay, here we go. Just Nero. Let's see what happens. Okay, let me do it this way. Let me do it this way. Bear with me for a minute, y'all. Emperor Nero, 0. And 666. Let's see how this relates. I should have put the number, a hashtag 666. Let's see what happens. Okay. Calculating the beast number. And that's a bust of Nero Caesar. So now let's see how all this comes together. The connection between Roman Emperor Nero and the number 666 arises from interpretations of the book of Revelation in the Bible. Specifically, some believe that the name of Nero in Greek, when translated into Hebrew letters and calculated using Gamatia, a system where letters are assigned numerical values add up to 666. This interpretation, often seen as a coded reference to Nero, has been a topic of debate among Bible scholars. We're talking about scholars, not your everyday person that goes to church. Let's go and read some more. Preterist theologians typically support the interpretation that 666 is the number equivalent of the name of the title Nero Caesar, Roman Emperor, 54 AD to 68 AD, written in Aramaic. This can be valued at 666 using the Hebrew numerology of Grammatia, and was used to secretly speak against the emperor. Nero as the Antichrist. The phrase, this another way, to phrase this another way, 666, or rather DCLXV, which is Roman numerals, signifies the Antichrist because that number signifies Nero, and Nero, who was a, give me a second, matricide, proclaimed his, let me look up the word matricide. I believe that means wife killer, spouse killer. Let's look it up. Meaning. Matricides, the act of, mother. He did kill his own mother. And he killed his wife. Then he found a boy that looked like his wife, chopped the guy's rod off, and married him. That's something that Trump would do. Or maternal homicide is the act of killing one's mother. And that's what he did. He killed his mother and he killed his wife. And married a boy, dressed him up like a girl. And that's him. You hear him doing shit like that, you wouldn't be surprised. So now let's come on back to chat. Okay, interpretations. Give me a second. Many scholars believe the beast represented the Roman Empire, and the 666 was a code for Emperor Nero. The Caesar that's in place now in the New Rome is Emperor Nero, aka Trump, using Hebrew numerology, gematria, hope I'm saying that right, symbolic. Some view it as a metaphor for alliances to corrupt worldly systems or oppositions to the Most High. Yeah, you take it, you're in opposition to the Most High. Futurists, certain evangelicals and evangelical or dispensationalist Christians interpret it as a literal future event, because these guys deal with prophecy, often tied to ideas like microchips, biometric IDs, or digital currency system. What have we had GMS been saying since we got on YouTube? And the tech, when we got on YouTube in 07, it wasn't all out popping in the news. The technology is all out there. The receipts are overwhelming. Microchip theory, the idea that microchips like RFID implants are the mark of the beast, became popular in some Christian circles in the late 20s and early 21st century, which is now, especially as technology advanced. because now you can actually see the chip. You people actually got the chip. People say, "Oh, I know it's the fulfillment of Revelation 13 and 16." However, the Bible doesn't mention microchips. Of course not. The Bible doesn't mention that the Israelites are the people of North, Central, and South America of Indian and Negroid descent. So I guess we're not the people. This view is not widely accepted among mainstream theologians, 501c3s. It often stems from a mix of biblical literalism, futurism, and technical skepticism. I don't know. This might be the mark of the beast. Conclusion: There's no direct evidence in the Bible to equate the mark of the beast with a microchip. In other words, the Bible's not going to say the mark of the beast is the microchip. It's just like the Bible's not going to say Russians are going to shoot ICBM missiles on America. All right? It's a symbol, it's symbolic or prophetic concept that people have interpreted in different ways over centuries. If you're concerned about this from a theological, the study of God, that's what it means, or spiritual standpoint, it's best to discuss with a trusted religious leader or explore various scholarly interpretations. We don't got to follow these religious leaders and scholars, because we are the religious leaders and the authorities on this earth when it comes to these scriptures. GMS been saying for years that the mark of the beast is the microchip, and damn it, it is. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom, on to the next shalom.